Here is my process on how to take pictures that you take in real life and convert them into textures. This is how I do it. So these are all the steps. First, you take a picture with your phone or a camera. You got a bunch of pictures. So this is a texture I just finished. It is 2048 by 2048 pixels wide. It is seamless for the most part, and it has a normal map on it. You can see it does a weird jiggling, which I think is like anti-aliasing or the lack of anti-aliasing. So step one is we're going to use this tool called ShoeBox. There should be a link in the description. It's kind of a strange download. You got to download like Java runtime stuff. So we have ShoeBox open. We're going to drag in the texture we want, which is this one. Dragging in a texture ripper. This big window opens up. It's not seen on our size, but we're just going to roll it. So basically on the left is the output and on the right is your input. On the right side, just click and drag here to here, release, then click down here and drag over to here. So you can see that this is very square, it's nice, and what this tool does is, since I took this at a perspective angle, it's not very flat. So this tool just takes the image and sort of flattens it and reduces the perspective. I think it's called orthographic instead of perspective. So in the bottom here, there's a save button in the bottom right. I don't think I can show you, but I'm going to press that. Okay, now we have our raw flat stone. We're going to crop and resize the image. So let's open it in the tool called GIMP. You see here is my last texture that I was working on. So we're just gonna, and here we go. So I like this image as an example because you can see it has a cigarette on the ground that I totally did not see as I was running. So we gotta fix this up, we gotta clean it up. So before I resize the image, I'm gonna take the clone tool, get a very soft brush, and if we scroll in here, we can zoom in. What this clone tool does is you can control click here, and then you see it has like a little circle here. And I'm going to come over and just hold the left click and drag, and what it does is it copies the pixels from the left over here to the right. And now suddenly there's no cigarette. We've done it. We've quit smoking. I'm going to repeat that over here, get rid of whatever this is. Over here, this little stain, I don't know if it's bird poop or something, but we're getting rid of that. Bye-bye. There's also a stain here of mystery fluid. Gonna get rid of that. This tool is pretty awesome. So just control click to set a spot, and then feather in the rest of it. And now that's looking pretty good. You'll see that it all looks pretty uniform. There's this like one red tile. It's like kind of red, but I think I'm gonna leave it for now. I don't know. Actually, let's clean up this too. So click up here and then feather in that stuff. Oh, so good. Image, scale image, image size. I want it to be 2048 by 2048. I want it to be square. I think this should probably, oh, that didn't do what I wanted. And we froze, nice. Am I gonna keep in bloopers? I don't know. Oh, that did do what I wanted. Cool. Okay, so it seems like it just squished it down, which is exactly what I wanted. So we crop and resize the image. Use GIMP to make it seamless. So make it have uniform brightness. It was a fairly cloudy day. There wasn't any harsh shadows, so I don't have to worry about that. And the lighting was pretty good. Use the clone tool to feather the edges. Then we test it. So we're gonna see how this tiles. Filter, map, tile. Now it's 2048 by 2048, which is one tile. So I'm gonna tile it 4 times. Let's do 3 times. 3 times. And that is it. So if I zoom out, you can see it looks like the lighting is not as uniform as I thought it was. So I'm going to copy the image, make a new layer, paste the image, Okay, so now we have the image pasted on top of itself. So it seems like it's mostly the bottom. So I'm deleting this portion here, and then I'm also going to delete here because I think that had pretty good brightness. So now we just have this bottom selected. So I'm on this layer here. We're just going to take these pixels and brighten them. Colors, brightness, contrast. Increase the brightness. Oh wow, that looks amazing already. Hit OK. And now we can probably see if we can tile this. Let's merge this layer down. Merge the visible layers. Filter, map, tile. That looks much better. So this one brick is gonna repeat a little bit. You could probably feather it out and just feather it out. Oop, maybe not like that. Yeah, you could just feather it out. It's uniform brightness. It's seamless. It does have this repeating red, but I like it because it adds flavor. And looking good. So now we're chilling. We have a 2048 by 2048 texture. That's looking good. So next we can work on the normal map. I'm going to Control E to export. Export this to my 2048 folder. Stone tile A01 in case I have multiple stone tiles, and then it's 2048 pixels. Export. And the reason I do 2048 is because I'm going to have all these others like 1024, 512, 256. Next we're going to open the program called Laigter. Yours will be empty, mine has the old one though. So I'm going to press this button up here to import an image. Grab this guy, imports, and since I had normal map selected, it shows the normal map up here. So we can look, and it seems to auto generate a normal map, which is cool, and that works for me. This seems good. I'm just going to export immediately without changing anything. And you'll see this export window puts it back in the original directory with this suffix, which works for me. Looks like it worked, and here it is. So I have my limestone that I made earlier, we have our stone tile that we just made, and the _n for normal map, which this just shows the bumpiness, so it's not just a flat image. We would be good if we were just doing for one texture, but personally I like to work with both realistic and lower resolution. I want to take all of my hard work that I just made and convert it down to the different file sizes. Now you could do this manually, but that would take a long time. So I wrote a Python script, which should be on my GitHub by the time this posts. However, I wrote this in like 5 minutes, so no guarantees if it deletes your computer. So I'm going to run it, see how long this takes. Shouldn't take too long. And now we have my stone tile and all these different file sizes. So we go to properties, details, you can see it's 256 by 256. Nice. So if we look at this 32, it's very blurry because the Windows 10 photo viewer doesn't have any filtering options. We have our texture, but ready for Minecraft. Isn't that cool? So you can go as low res as you want, or you can go as high res as you want. But you gotta start high and go low because you can't go the other way. So that pretty much is it. There's another tool called SKL M2Pix. This is a strange tool, but it's kind of cool. So if we open an image, my 2048 input, this is our input, and up here is output. It lets you apply dithering to the texture to make it use less data, and that's kind of like what older games used. So you can limit the palette. We can do some image adjustments and stuff. I'm not going to do it because I like the way things are looking, but if I was making like a really low resolution game, I would use this tool for sure. So that's pretty much the whole process. Now we are in Blender here, and we're going to take this floor texture that I have, this floor material, and add our images to it. So here we go, image texture. So find our stone tiles here, add that as our base color, already looking good. But then we also want to add the normal map that we created. So we're going to do that. Okay, so now we select our normal map for this guy. Select the normal map and put it in there. And you can see it's kind of a subtle change. So that is how we get a texture like this. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions or a better way to do this.